Alhamdulillah, the 29th Jalsa Salana Annual Convention of Jamaat Ahmadiyya Uganda, held at Ahmadiyya Muslim Mission Center, has been successfully concluded. It started on Friday 13th January 2017 under the theme, "And help one another in righteousness and piety, but help not one another in sin and transgression." The Holy Quran, chapter 5, verse 3. The MTA Africa Uganda team has been following the events as they unfolded. After the hosting of the Liwa Ahmadiyya and the Uganda national flag, the first session commenced with the routine recitation of the Holy Quran. Thereafter, the Amir and missionary in charge Maulana Al-Haji Muhammad Al-Kairi gave his inaugural address, in which he relayed the message from the worldwide head of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community in Islam, Hadrat Mirza Masroor Ahmad, may Allah be his helper, to the members of the Uganda Jamaat. In his message, Huzur, may Allah be his helper, prayed for the success of this year's Jalsa Salana, and that may Allah Ta'ala enable all participants to gain immense spiritual benefit and countless blessings. Huzur, may Allah be his helper, highlighted the importance of Jalsa Salana as to bring about closeness to Allah, advance in religious knowledge and understanding, bring about virtuous changes and integrate them into one's life, among others. Huzur, may Allah be his helper, urged members to constantly remember Allah during these 3 days, in addition to their obligatory prayers, and to desist from all ill thoughts that would divert them from the remembrance of Allah. Huzur, may Allah be his helper, urged members to remember the noble aims for which the promised Messiah ﷺ established the Jamaat, and endeavor to fulfill the obligations of the Bayat. Huzur said members should strive to see to it that they lead an exemplary life in their respective societies. He also reminded them of their responsibilities about preaching and spreading the message of Ahmadiyyat throughout the country. Huzur, may Allah be his helper, also urged members to maintain a close link with the institution of the Khilafat by listening to his Friday sermons and other addresses at important gatherings on MTA. Huzur prayed that Allah blesses this year's Jalsa Salana. Throughout the 3 days of Jalsa Salana, a number of speeches were delivered by different scholars on various topics. For example, a speech about Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the messenger of peace, the promised Messiah has come, history of Ahmadiyyat in Uganda, the institution of Khilafat in Islam, marriage in Islam, the upbringing of children in Islam, and spending in the way of Allah, among others. This year's Jalsa Salana was graced by the attendance of various dignitaries from all over the country. Prominently among them were His Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Uganda, Honorable Edward Chwanka Sekandi.
I've visited a number of exhibitions, especially where readers' books have been displayed and explained to me, and I'm very grateful that you've been kind to donate to me this knowledge found in those books, and I will use them.
The Vice Chancellor of Makerere University, Professor John Dumba Sentamon, among others. About the organization and arrangements, we spoke to the Amir and missionary in charge, Maulana Al-Haji Muhammad Al-Kairi.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, bismillahir rahmanir rahim. First of all, I'm extremely grateful to Allah the Almighty, also to the organizers, Afsa Jalsa Salana and his entire team, also to individual members from right up to the Jamaat level to the national Amla, for having put in as much effort as necessary to make this Jalsa Salana a success.
The Afsa Jalsa Salana attributed this success to the division of labor among the different departments as laid down by the promised Messiah alayhi salam. An exhibition tent alongside a tabligh tent was set up for purposes of displaying Jamaat literature and also preaching the message of Jamaat Ahmadiyya to the invited guests. Different people from different backgrounds were attended to in these tents, and a reasonable number of bayats were registered. A blood drive was also carried out during this year's Jalsa Salana, and a reasonable number of units of blood were collected to save lives. An academic awarding ceremony was also conducted in recognition of the students who had excelled in various academic disciplines at primary, secondary, and tertiary levels. In his closing address, the Amir and missionary in charge, Maulana Al-Haji Muhammad Ali Kaire, declared that this year's Jalsa Salana was attended by over 5,000 participants. He enlisted the achievements that by the grace of Allah, Jamaat Ahmadiyya Uganda had realized in the year 2016, and then led a closing prayer. For MTA International Africa, Abubakar Mugaya, MTA Africa Uganda Studios.